This is Irontrader. It is Monday morning, so it's time to go to work. Okay, we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas. Then we'll take a look here at the old NQ, which is off about 100. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not recognition of buy, selling stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have Bitcoin, your daily and your weekly chart. Now, we can see here what happened. Okay, so what we're looking for here is the top of that candle on Friday at that 110.890. We got just a little bit above that at 111.220. Okay, but you can see that it just couldn't hold it on a closing basis, and that's what's key. Okay, so we put a low in at 109.200 so far today. We put a low in at 109.055, so we're just a little bit below that. Now, your key support level is going to be right here. It's going to be 108.500. We really need to hold that. If that's lost, we'll come to the top of this candle. What are we looking here? Yeah, we're looking at 108, 105 level, and then we're going to be looking for this 21-day at 107.28. Now, if it comes down to this level and it holds that 8-day, that could be a good buying opportunity, even if it comes down to the 21-day and holds it. Okay, so I want you to look at this pattern, step back from your computer, see how we have a left a shoulder, we have a head, and we have a right shoulder situation that's building here. So this could go be a little bit sideways action before we're going to have a rip up. Eventually, I think we're going to break that 112.345 and we're going to hit the 113 and then possibly 115, 116 level. Okay, but right now with today, what you want to watch is that 108.500. That's at 8-day, and that key level at 107.28. Now, if that's lost, we're going to come right down to these levels right here. You're looking at 105.440. And then we can hit that 104.355. Now, today here, we're looking at today's high. We had 110.265. Right up here, we have 110.455, okay? And then we're going to be looking right there at that 110.890, and then we're going to look at Friday's high at that 111.220 level. Then we'll come over here. You're looking at 112.60 and then 112.345. So we got to see how this all shakes out, but be just a little bit patient, okay? So 56 here, that's not overbought, oversold. We're sitting right there. Your green is still over your red, but we have a sideways action, but we do have that inverse head and shoulders pattern going on here. So let's just see how it all plays out. Now, again, if we start losing that 21-day and losing here, and we start losing that 50-day, well, that would negate the pattern. But again, right now, let's just stick with the pattern and see how we can shake it out. Okay, here we have the weekly. Now, the weekly, by Friday, we want to hold that 106.938 on a closing basis. That's going to be very, very key, okay? So you can see here how we had this downslide, okay? So we were a lower high, and then Fridays, last week's candle, we broke that, and now we're just having a little bit of sideways action, okay? But really, just watch that 106.938 by Friday, and we need to hold that on a closing basis. Now, easy way I trade this here, you can use IBIT, that's a 1-to-1 ratio. I've been trading the BITX, that's a 2x leverage, been working out really nice, and it pays a really nice, good dividend, and it pays it monthly, and that's what I like about it, so it's not too bad. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. Okay, here we have gold and silver. Now, I always look at gold as like a fear factor kind of a situation. Now, remember, on the 9th here, all these tariffs are going to be coming due. They have to make a deal before the 9th. Otherwise, they're going to put the tariffs on. It might even get a little bit bigger. So this could be a very volatile week here, which could take gold up into an upper direction. But let's just see how it all shakes out. Okay, right now, we're still uptrending on the chart, okay? But you can see here how strong that 21-day is. That's why I always say trade these charts, okay? See how it is, how it went right into it and pulled back, pulled back, got a little higher, but it could not close above that 21-day. And now look at here, we have this lower low and a lower high. That's not good, okay? So what we're looking at today, I'll look at the downside here first, looking at 33.04, okay? So if we lose that level, we can come over here, okay? You're looking at 32.69 level. We'll come out to the bottom of this candle here, 32.66, and then we're going to have that retest at 32.50 level. We lose that here, we're going to come down to that 100-day at 31.91. Okay, so that is your downside. But as long as we're holding this level here, we're still within these price channels. Okay, now upside here, it's going to be very tight here. You got 33.32. That's your 50-day. And 33.32, there's your 8-day. So that's going to be very strong resistance. Above that, we have that 33.61 level, okay? So just watch that 50-day, 8-day, and 21-day. Very, very strong. It's going to need a catalyst to break through that. If it does break through that, we look at Friday's high, 33.76 level, looking very nice. We'll come up here. You have 33.85. Work your way up here. You got 34.13, and then we could keep right on following it at 34.19 level. Then we'll come up here, 34.27. Then we can just take that all the way up to that 34.76 level. But Okay, that's where it could possibly go. I always like to show you that. And then we have that breakout at 35.09. But right now, you're right below that 50-day, that 8-day, and that 21-day. And you can see how the 21-day, everything's rolling over here now. But I don't like that lower high and lower low situation. Now, if the price gets back above this 21-day, 33.61, because I only trade gold from the long side, then I would jump into the GLD if it closed above it. But right now, it doesn't look very, very good. So just watch today's low, 33.04. Your next big target is going to be that 32.50 retest, and then we'd have to see what it does once it gets back there. Okay. Now RSI only sitting at 45. You're not overbought or oversold. Your green is below your red here, so this is just not very, very looking very attractive here as of right now. Okay. So again, the key is 8-day, 50-day, 21-day on the upside. Downside is holding at 32.50. Okay. Now silver was doing pretty good last night here. You can see how it broke out and it made a higher high. But a lot of times that can be a fooler and that will trap you right in, okay? So when you hit this level here, okay, and then we tried to retest it, couldn't do it, tried to retest it, couldn't do it, and now we got above it, but we just couldn't get close above it. That's the key, and now we got a big-ass red candle, okay? But the key is now is closing back above the top of this candle at that 37.40 level, okay? So we made 3 cents higher, okay, but you need to get above that and close above it to go higher toward that 38 to the 40 mark. Okay, but right now, that's not what it did. However, now you can see where it came down, but we're holding that 21 a day again. Okay, see, look at this. Holding it, holding it. Look how many times that is holding it. Okay, so you got to respect it until it's lost. Okay, so here's what we're looking at. We're looking at that 8-day, 36.51, and then we're looking at that 21-day, 36.42 on a closing basis. Okay, if that's lost here, we'll come right to the bottom here. You're looking at 36.05 level. We'll come down here. You're looking at 35.63 will come here. You're looking at 35.58. It will come down to the bottom. You're looking at 35.19, and then we always look to the left of the chart here, 34.95, and then we'll look to the 50-day at 34.53. But again, respect that 21-day. Okay, this could be a buying opportunity if this holds this key level here. But again, got to watch that 21-day, the 8-day. That's crucial on the downside. Upside is right at the top of this candle at 37.40. Okay, and then we have that little bit more at 37.43. But see, a lot of times that can rope you in that says, oh, it's going to crack around up here. But that's why I always be a little bit patient and wait for it on a closing basis. So you miss a little bit. No big deal. Okay, you don't need to buy the bottom. You don't need to sell the top. What you're looking for is that meat in the middle. Okay, now you can see here 56. That's not overbought or oversold here. The green is still below your red here, but that could circle up. But as long as we're holding that 21-day here, we're still on an uptrending market. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude and natural gas. Okay, here we have the old crude scheme. Here we have natty gas. Now, on crude oil, OPEC had their meeting over the weekend. It looks like they're going to be dumping in, putting on more oil on the market here come August, and probably another big bump up there in September. What they're trying to do, last year they were cutting this 2.2 million barrels per day, and now they added 411,000, and now they're going to be adding a lot more on the market here. What it is I think Saudi Arabia wants to have, they don't care really about the price as much as they want that market share. Some of the members of OPEC was kind of like fudging the numbers a little bit here, and they were not happy with it. So it looks like they're going to be putting more oil on the market. Again, we just have this sideways action. Now, we had a bear flag situation going here, and it's working really nice. And then we had this action here, went right on up here. But where did it go? Right into that 21-day simple moving average. Now, you can see here, today's candles, we came right on down here, made a lower low, but where did we go? Okay, we held it the 65.92, and we held at a 65.55. Okay, those are going to be key levels of support. Now, if that's lost, we'll come right to the bottom here. You're looking at 64.67. We have 64 flat, and then this is what you're looking for at that 63.87. Okay. Now, if that's lost here, we'll come down to the 62.50 level, okay, which is basically right there. That's just the bottom of that candle. That's all that is, okay? Now, if that's lost here, we can come down here. You got a 62.17. We have 61.06, and then we can have all the way down here at 59.74. But again, we have summer driving going on here, so you got to be a little bit patient here. And then we also have that possible hurricane season coming in there into kind of a disruption, okay, like we had here with this war premium, so we'll send it much higher. So don't have any opinion, just trying to trade these charts. So downside, what you're watching is that 8-day, okay, and that 100-day on the downside. On the upside, we're watching right here, 67, 64. That's going to be very, very crucial on the upside. We get above that, then we're going to go ahead toward that 68.45, that 200-day. Okay. Now, again, with crude oil here and a lot of these commodities here, it doesn't really matter. Okay, now we had a huge build last week in crude oil and in gasoline, but you can see where the price is starting to go on up here. So a lot of those numbers don't mean anything. This is why you want to trade the charts. Okay, so just watch that 100-day and that 8-day on the downside, trade that, and then we have that 21-day on the upside. We lose this, we're going to go to the 50-day. We lose that, we're going to come right to that 62.50. Okay, just that simple. We get above that 21-day, and we're going to head right for that 200-day, and then we have to see what the reaction is. We get above that, we're going to come right to the top of this candle at that 69.29 level. Then we're going to venture right down here. You got 69.38, 69.56 level, and we can come all the way down up here to that 71.33. Okay, so don't have no opinion. We just want to trade this range till she's either going to break up or she's going to break down. Now you can see here, we're just sitting here kind of like almost like a flat line situation on both of these. It's not really telling us a whole lot. So just trade that range until we don't. Okay. Now the gas here, well, she's coming right on off here. Okay. Now, okay, I've been pointing out here that 8-day. See how that 8-day rolled over? Okay, just hang on just 1 second there. Okay, that 8-day rolled over, as you can see here, and it crossed that 100-day, that 21-day, and that 50-day, which is not a good look, okay? So you can see here how we came down, we went below that 200-day, closed back up. Below the 200-day, closed back up here, and now look at today, okay? So we lost all those simple moving averages here, and now we retested that 329. Now, we went just a little bit lower than that at 327 level here. So basically, your next level here is going to be, if we losing that 327 here, is you're looking at 321 level, okay? Right there is your 323, 321, and then we come down to this level right here. You're looking at that 309 level, okay? Then we have this gap. Always watch this gap, 305, 298, and then 288 is the bottom, okay? Now, I'm not saying where it's going, but that's what always watch these gaps and fill, because this was never filled in here, okay? So, upside here, well, very easy. We got to watch that 340 level. That's your 200 SMA here. Right above that, we have that 8-day. Look at that. 347, we have that 50-day. At 351, we have 360, and then we have 369 right there. And then we come up here at that 375, and then we have 384 level. But right now, this chart is not looking good. However, if you look at the big picture, we still have a low, a higher low, and a higher low situation as long as we're holding this key 3.29 level. Okay, so right now you just have to trade the range. This needs a catalyst to go higher. Okay, so it's just that simple. So any kind of a disruption will take natural gas higher. So right now you're watching that 329. We came below it, but now you can see where we're back up again. Okay, so 329 at the bottom. If we lose that situation, then here's your next target is going to be that 309 level. Okay, so just always follow these price channels. Just bring them right across. And that's exactly is where your target is. And always watch that gap in that fill. Upside, well, we got to see if maybe we can trade this range from this 329 here all the way up to that 340 level. Okay, so that might be a good possibility for a trade today. I trade UNG for the long, KLD for the short. That might be a good possibility here to take that right back up here to that 200-day and possibly maybe even that 8-day. But basically, be real patient here with the natural gas. So when you look at this, we had this topping tail. But now when you look at the overall chart, see, we have a high, lower high situation where we start losing this 329 here. Then I think we're going to do this gap in that fill very easily. Okay. Now, 42, not overbought, oversold. Green below your red here. It's not really looking really good, too great here. Okay, on a whole situation. Even though when you look at the chart, it does have a rising wedge going up here. But, big but here, this is just looking ass ugly. There's nothing here. Okay, let's take a look here now at the old NQs. Okay, here we have the NQ. We're down about 90 today. Okay, but just remember here, a lot of times we get that turnaround Tuesday. Okay, so if we have a down day today, we'll be up tomorrow and vice versa kind of a situation. Always keep that in mind. Okay, so right now here we just have this big melt up, and you can see here we have an inside day. Okay, so we're just basically high and lows inside of Friday's high and low. The key to watch is this 8-day 22,790. We lose that, we got to respect this 22,252 level. Okay, you can see how nice it held. Okay, if we lose that, then we're going to be looking for that 50 SMA here. Now, we got to see how all these tariffs and everything's going to shake out here. But we did have a big melt up. We are at an overbought condition here. You got a lot of FOMO, which is driving these stocks. So always remember that this is a trader's market. This was a buy and hold situation. This is a trader's market, okay? Now, on the upside, you're watching that 23,102 level. You crack that, hell, we could go 24,000. You know what I'm saying? You could go 25,000. You could just keep right on melting up until something tells it different. However, when you get to these topping situations and you have just a little bit of bad news, anything comes out that isn't right, this will sell off and sell off hard, okay? So remember, all the big hedge fund guys, they're watching this. They're watching this. They're watching this. Okay. So just remember, when they start unloading, then you get the retail traders that buy up. Okay. And that's a sucker's bet. Then she comes flying on down. Okay. That's what I got for you. I'll be back here midday trading. We'll take a look at some stocks and see what's going on here right now. Well, let's see. It's not that bad. Nvidia's down just a little bit there. Meta's down just a little bit. Tesla's down quite a bit there. So let's just see how everything all shakes out here. But remember, this is a trader's market, and that's how you have to remain, okay? Trade what's in front of you, not what you want.